Hello guys! So yes, it has been a while since I have been on this said camera. I've been very busy obviously creating cards, and today is a video of one big juicy update before we begin the next phase of playtesting and release of Wrath of Gods 2. So yes, the game has been teased when I last checked about a year, so it has been a long time coming. But I've got some really good news for you, lots of information and so on and so forth, so I'm just going to get straight into the video. So at the moment the total card count for the game is 150 cards, and at the moment that's broke down over 3 subsets. We've got the beta set, which is 2.0, then we've got the Knights, which is the white faction, and then the Witches, which is the black faction. So when creating these cards have been really unique. Beta set is basically an abundance of like different colours just all mixed in together to try and give us an idea of what's actually coming in the future games of Wrath of Gods. And those cards can basically be mixed in to pretty much any deck for a little bit of tweaking and fine tuning. But yeah, 2.1 will be the Knights archetype, and 2.2 will be the Witches. Knights are primarily focused on the likes of strength and defense. They're not exactly the fastest units, so their hit ratios are a little bit higher than average, but they've got some really good abilities, and a lot of them give themselves boosts. A lot of the cards combined together can basically maximize out a unit's stat, the attack and the HP and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. And then the Witch faction, or the Witch archetype, is they try and focus more so on direct damage and trying to sneak away around the opponent's units. So, what next? The actual game itself has got, it's designed to be a lot more simpler than the original game, a lot faster, a lot easier to understand, and a lot more beginner friendly. And this Wrath of Gods 2 will see the loss of some card types as compared to the original game. So we no longer have relic cards, we no longer have the weapon attachment cards, we no longer have the god summon cards, and there's one more floating around in my head but I can't quite put my finger what it was. But less card types, easier rules to try and understand, faster gameplay, and that's what we want. We still have units, action cards, battle cards, and response cards, and wonders. And we also obviously we have the core card. When it comes to alternative cards, we have got the Glares. So the Glares are back. At the moment they usually come with one in the booster pack, but I'm going to get onto that in a minute. And there's also a brand new type of glare, which is called an xGlare card. And if you've not already seen what that is basically where the glare effect only affects the background, and then the main focus in the image, so for example the character or a fireball or something like that, stays its regular artistic design, and then the background is glared. So it really stands out, and it's a really nice effect to have. We will only see xGlares in the rare and royal rare cards. So at the moment I'm going to get onto this, but the chances of pulling a rare glare is actually higher, but I'll get onto that in a minute towards the end of this video. So yeah, glares are returning, xGlares are being added to the game. Something really cool. Wait till I show you some of these cards, they're absolutely amazing. Next up, the GameCrafter products. So like I said, I've completed the first 150 cards in the game, but that will now force me to focus on the GameCrafter products. At the moment we have got a beta box. You may have seen Illuminant Souls and Skyscape TCG doing an unboxing video, which I have donated to them to try and get the game a little bit more attention on YouTube and some playtesting in. But the box is subject to change. However, that was the original design. It's beta, things will change, packaging will change, but the contents more so stay the same. And the beta set will contain all cards between 1 and 50, as well as a load of freebies inside. Well, I dare call them freebies because it increases the the overall price of the product, but it contains a lot of stuff. As well as the beta box, we have got the traditional booster packs. Again, design subject to change at the moment. It's not going to be much different now. And then we're going to have 2 starter decks for you to try out. Obviously, if you buy enough booster packs, chances are you're going to have enough cards to make a deck anyway, as judging that you've got a core card. So that, at the moment, they are going to be the first GameCrafter products released. There's also one other GameCrafter product, and that is because a core has got 10 life, you can use a D10 if you wanted to. You could also use 2 D6s or a D20 and just roll the number down. However, we have got this, and I've never seen this in a HTCG game before. And for those of you that hadn't seen it on Skyscape's channel on the unboxing, this is what we call a life counter. And this figure here manages your life. So obviously you start off on 10. When you take a point of damage, it goes down to 9, and then once you get to 0, you lose the game. And then this red one is basically your core's ability. The core's ability, it's got a requirement and then an activation. So once you start the game, you're going to be sat on wait, which is red. However, once you've met the requirement, you can basically scroll that around to green, and that will say ready, which will basically tell you and your opponent that your ability, your core's ability, is ready to be used, and they need to be very, very careful on the next few moves. Once you have used your ability, you can then scroll it across to used. I need to adjust that. And used is basically, it's in the text. You've used your ability and you can't use the core ability again for the rest of the game. So they are very powerful abilities, and something what your opponent needs to be very, very wary of. But that is the life counter. They will be available to buy separately, however they are also included in the beta box. Again, if you don't want to buy one, you could use a D10 or a couple of D6s or a D20 or something like that on the lines of that. Next, we've got 2 more things to go through. We have got competitions. Once the game's going to be released, not long after it gets released, I'm going to be doing 2 different types of competitions. One is an RNG competition, which basically means you will add your name to a list before a particular date. When that date comes, I'm going to be picking out a random 2 or 3 people and then sending them gift cards on the GameCrafter to hopefully buy some Wrath of Cores. You can buy anything you want, but you know, it would be pretty cool if you could buy some Wrath of Cores and get these videos up and back into the old school way, back in the day when people were uploading unpacking videos once a week. So that'd be pretty cool. And then we'll have collaborational based competitions. So I will be at some point, maybe a month or 2 after the initial release, when I start working on the next archetype, I will kind of tease the archetype, and I will put out the Wrath of Cores email address where people can try and submit pieces of artwork, and the ones that I think basically deserve it, or maybe I could just do a random pick out of the pot or something like that, they will also receive GameCrafter products and or gift cards. And I really think that gift cards are the way forward now. I do have some promotional cards what I previously bought from the GameCrafter. So that is an xGlare, by the way. That's what the new xGlare looks like, where the glare effect is in the backdrop. But I do have some which, if anybody wanted any of them rather than a gift card, maybe signed or, you know, whatnot, you could do that as well. And then finally, release. When the game is released, we will, to try and encourage people to buy the game, we will be seeing a couple of discounts on the items, as well as the booster packs will have 1 extra glare inside the booster pack, and the chances of pulling a rare glare or a rare xGlare will also be increased phenomenally as well. And we are talking pretty much a 2 times chance of pulling a rare glare. So if you really want to start getting into the game, then the earlier you get them is pretty much the better time, because after a couple of weeks they will be going back to their original state. So yeah, that is basically that in a nutshell. But anyway guys, this video's got long enough. I hope you enjoyed these updates. What is basically going to be coming to Wrath of Course within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully once we get these playtesting done, we can start looking at releasing the game, and I look forward to everyone's interest in the game. It'd be really cool to see what you guys think of the game and so on and so forth. So yeah, can't wait for that. I do apologise for the delay it has taken to get this game out. I have been in the process of buying a house around the Christmas and towards the end of COVID and the start of Christmas. It's taken about 6 months for the house to go through, but we are here now. We've got everything sorted. A couple of bits and bobs I need to do, but that was the initial delay. If it wasn't for the house move and I was in my old house, this game would probably be released by now. But anyway, I'm going to stop this video here because I would be really surprised if you guys actually made it all the way to the end. So if you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Yeah. Cheers guys. I shall see you in my next video. Thank you very much.